Welcome back to HG Living, Lifestyles of the Locally Rich and Famous. I'm your host, Lindsay Maynard, and with your co-hosts today, Natalie O'Donnell and Mason Goddard with Valley Visuals. So today we are going to talk about storytelling and community building, why community storytelling matters, and we're going to let the expert, Valley Visuals, Mason Goddard, talk a little bit to us today.
Don't give me too much credit. I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Hey, you're sitting in the seat there and producing this podcast for us and the Shut the Front Door podcast. So we're going to call you HG's expert for HG Living.
Much appreciated.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about the history of, you're younger here in the business too. So tell us where you're from, what got you started here and led you to real estate.
So I grew up in Blaine, but I went to high school in Martins Ferry. What I kind of did before this was I had a number of just odd end jobs. Like I worked at Walmart Distribution Center. I worked at Hanover Fuel Stop. Shout out to Hanover Fuel Stop. Good subs. What else? GSP batting cages was actually my first job because I wanted to get better with my batting. So I went out there, got a job, and in my free time while nobody was there, I'd stay in the cage all day and just hit away.
Yeah, nice. Making use.
After high school, I went to Muskingum University for one semester. I decided after that semester that the things I was interested in, college really didn't, make any sense to continue with. I was getting into a bunch of debt, and it kind of...
You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I realized that.
Save yourself some money.
As I look back, I realized from an early age that the entrepreneurial spirit was kind of within me. Like, I used to buy candles from Crafts 2000 in the mall.
Okay.
And
I know, I've not heard this story. I'm excited.
I used to buy these candles, and they were like, I don't know, $3, $5, and then I'd resell them to my family or whoever else. For
Hustling Crafts 2000 candles. Oh, that's a good one.
That's kind of what started it when I was 8 or 9. Then my dad had a camera, so I was always kind of interested in that, but we'll pick up on that as the episode goes on. Then in school, me and Justin, as I've talked about in a previous episode, we realized that a lot of people were like reading in school because that's what people do.
Yeah.
And we started to make bookmarks out of index cards.
Okay.
And we would sell those for like $1. And we made...
What grade was this?
This was like fifth grade. Probably fifth grade. So I was like 10 years old. I don't know. We made a killing on those. We even sold them to the teachers. Like we were young hustlers back in the day. But that's kind of where my journey started. And now I'm here. We can dive in a little more to that. But
awesome. I didn't know that Crafts 2000. Is that what really, that's what got Anna on the line there with her design history? She was like, oh, yeah. You designed candles as a child?
I didn't design those candles. I just bought them and resold them because I saw that. Yeah. I was flipping.
Crafting and upgrading them.
We're going from flipping houses back to flipping candles. Maybe I'll pick that up again.
So when did you start Valley Visuals?
I started that not officially, but when I was a senior in high school, I started taking some of my friends' senior pictures and just kind of built on that. I always, like I said, I picked up a camera around 9 years old, and then as I got into high school, we had these 2 classes. Shout out to Mrs. Ambori and Coach Kim. They were video and sound, and I can't remember the name of the photography class, but that's where I learned to do what I'm doing today. And the video and sound class, we produced football highlights. We basically had our own podcast, but not really. It was kind of like a news broadcast to the school. We'd play it during lunchtime for all of the school to see. So The football highlights that I do today, the cinematic films, I really took inspiration from that back in the day. But I started Valley Visuals around that time as a senior in high school. Moved away to Myrtle Beach. I was about 21. Yeah, just turned 21. Moved down there, kind of brought the business with me down there. But as I was down there, and that was a great time. Met my wife down there, and it was awesome. But I realized that my business was doing better here. I had more connections here, so I kind of wanted to streamline that process and come back and see if I could make anything happen. So I officially started the business while I was still in Myrtle Beach in 2022, and then brought it back here and tried to just get involved with as many things as I could within this area. My favorite thing to shoot is sports. I'm a huge sports fanatic, so I've really tried to kind of market myself in that manner. It's like the guy to go to when it comes to sporting events and the senior portraits that I do. I've kind of tried to create my own lane with that. And it's pretty much how it all got started. And it's thankfully this year's been my best year so far. So it's steadily picking up, and thankful for that. Shout out to everybody who's booked with me or will continue to book with me. I super appreciate that. So
yeah, I love seeing your sports highlights over the week and stuff, all the local teams, and my kids love watching them too. And every game they're like, is Mason going to come to our game today? They're always like hoping that you'll make them look drippy and stuff. So it's actually been requested. Emma's already requested that you come to a Lindsley basketball game. She's playing volleyball right now, but we're looking forward to basketball season. So
picking up on that, I actually had a kid reach out to me the other day. It made me feel super good. He was like, he watched a film that I did 2 years ago from Belair versus Martins Ferry, and he said, you inspired me to get into photography and videography. This is what inspired me to pick up a camera. And I was like, of course I want people to enjoy my work, but I didn't realize the impact was so big. So that was awesome to hear. It made me feel really good. Also made me feel a little old, but
it's official. Like when we had an agent come in a couple weeks ago, and they were born while I was in high school. I was like, oh, yeah, visually that older person in the office here, So let's talk about media and branding and such. You brought your video experience into real estate, but what led you to actually kind of look into getting your real estate license and such?
So, I'll bring you back to how I first got started here, because that kind of correlates with it. I was trying to buy a house from Anna Smith, and previous marketing director came in and dropped off drone photos to her. So I was like, and he had them on a thumbstick. So I was like, hey, this is what I do for a living. Let's talk. And that led to me being brought in as the assistant for that position. And now being promoted to the position I currently hold. That's what kind of led me into this seat. But what made me get my real estate license, I've always kind of been interested in the home buying not the home buying process, but I loved looking at different houses, because each one's unique. No house is the same, really. That was kind of something I enjoyed, at an early age. I never really considered real estate as a career until getting out of college, and then actually seeing what it was about. But that's kind of where the interest sparked from. And as we mentioned in the previous episode, it's the HGTV. Yeah, it always looked fun to be involved in that world. And now with my wife being an interior designer, we can kind of correlate the two once we can get rolling with flips and everything. So that's going to be fun. And life's kind of found its own path for me, but things work as they may, and I'm happy to be where I am.
Yeah, stay focused on the long-term goal and just hustle through it, and don't worry about
You don't realize, because you and your wife just bought a house, right?
I bought the house, yeah.
You don't realize the process of real estate until you're actually in it. And then I feel like like for you get hooked. You're like, oh, I love houses.
Yeah. It's like you can't stop.
And then I worked at Harvey Goodman, so it definitely came full circle.
Yeah, and then once you fulfill other people's goals for them of home ownership, and like we talked about in previous episodes, as first-time home buyers, once you have a couple transactions that really fill your cup up, with joy and gratitude, it's just helping people in that manner is. I just believe everybody deserves their place to call home and their peace. And so to be able to help people to accomplish their goals and to get that is very, very special and fulfilling.
It is so rewarding. But going back to rewarding, that is awesome, Mason, that the kid reached out to you. That's definitely a testament of how hard that you've worked.
Your passion showing. Another thing, I mean, you mentioned Anna being an interior designer and stuff, and that's just another thing I love about real estate so much, is that there's so many different avenues. You can have your real estate license. We have some agents that don't sell as much, but they're more heavy investors, landlords, but then we have our top producers, and then we have some people, even Sean, he flips a couple houses a year and stuff. So there's just so many different avenues and ways you can make money, and depending on what your own personality and workflow is and passion. Sean was so worried about not fitting into this professional world as he had left the coal mine, and we should do a special episode on just his story, because it's a special one, him leaving the coal mine and stuff. That was like such a big thing in our life. But then he really found his way by working with investors and doing those flips and stuff, because he was still able to kind of stay in that construction world, but not still be able to work his way into real estate, and he's really succeeded. So I love real estate and how flexible it can be, and different avenues and paths you can take to make it work for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So let's talk about branding and such. Mason, you love to just tell the story of houses and bring your videography to the homes, and really give even to the sellers, like as a gift and as a nod to their memories and nostalgia and love that they have for that home. Why do you think that storytelling is, tell us a little bit about what's so important about that?
I think having a good visual representation of what we're trying to sell not only boosts how the property looks, but like you said, the sellers really appreciate that sometimes as we give them the pictures and the videos. It's a good memory to look back on, and I feel telling that story is very important. Not that you're buying the house for the story, but when
lifestyle and the feeling, even on the buyer side, making sure they can feel that, they feel what it would be like to live there. They can feel themselves in that lifestyle and see themselves in that.
That's a good
see
thing.
As their home.
Yeah, that's a good thing you mentioned, because if you're seeing a well-produced video or something like that, it can kind of give you more of a feel of, depending on how the story's told within the video, it can kind of give you a feel on what it would be like to live in that property and to see yourself within it. And obviously that helps the seller get their house sold faster and then the company grow. But more importantly, the buyer who's coming in there, if they're able to see themselves making that at home, and to see, if the previous seller made it their home, and they can see like how they laid it out, they're going to get their own ideas, obviously, but it really helps to tell the story to that potential buyer that this can be the one for you. Like, I don't know, I've had multiple sellers reach out to me, like whenever the photos are done, and they're like, "Oh, do you mind if we save some of these just to remember?" What our house looks like here.
They like to have the memories. It's about the feelings and storytelling, building that lifestyle. I love that about our Community Spotlight series, and that's one of the things that led us into doing that series, to help the communities, the business owners, but then also just to be able to help people know what it would be like to live in Shadyside or Barnesville, and especially people who aren't from this area, to be able to feel that and pick up on the lifestyle.
Because our area, the community is it's so amazing. Even within the valley as a whole really comes together. Like the recent flooding, that was a huge thing, and everyone banded together from everywhere to try to relieve the heartbreak of what had happened. And then we're getting into each community, different town, village, city.
Yeah. Every community has its own uniqueness. And
build on that. That's kind of what made me and Justin start Ohio Valley Spotlight. Like once you move away from this area, like you've moved out of here, and I moved away for 2 years, you don't appreciate what you have, like they say, until it's gone. So when you're out of the area and then you look back and realize how much this place actually has to offer, it really made me feel proud to be from here and want to give back to the area in any way that we can. So that was kind of what made us start that. But there's so many things like that people don't realize that the Ohio Valley has to offer. Like even being in Myrtle Beach as a sports fan, there is not, you have the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, but there's not really a lot of sports teams in the area. There's like 10 different either minor league or professional teams that you can go watch at any given time. Yeah, at college. But not only just for sports, like the community vibe here compared to, and I'm not talking bad on the area at all, there was definitely a good community there as well, but the community here is more tight-knit and close-knit, and everybody kind of goes out of their way to help one another. Like if you see a post on Facebook or with the flooding or anything, people will give the shirt off their back to help other people here, and that's truly what makes it special. It's like a really comforting and safe place to live. It's pretty awesome to be from here, and I take pride in that.
It's special. I do too. I mean, we lived out in Colorado. That was the big difference too, the difference of communities. People didn't know each other out there. They have gone to school together and stuff. They just didn't know each other. And we just did not, things were spread out there. You didn't have like just community after community after community with its own little quirky things. And the home or the locally owned, like family owned restaurants, like the food. We are so spoiled with food.
I'm a pizza-holic.
Yeah, we're going to have to make this a whole, like this is multiple episodes, food, but even just like the aesthetics of the geographics of the Ohio Valley. It's so beautiful. We get all 4 seasons. Even though I despise winter, I could totally give up February through March. Me too. But it is nice to see all 4 seasons compared to, other areas where it's just flat and dull all the time. Yes.
When it's green and you're just driving, you get to look at all the trees.
Yeah, and we've got the fall leaves on the way. So, yes.
Lasts for a little bit.
I know.
Yeah, there's a ton here, like I said, that people don't realize that's here. Like when you get out of here, even the restaurants.
Brand, the community has its own brand, and it's so authentic here. And we have so much history to, it gives so much brand equity to the Ohio Valley.
Yeah. So I lived in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, for about a year, and I traveled back and forth a lot in high school. Moved junior year, I believe. Junior year? Yeah. In my high school, my graduating class was like unreal, like I think 680 or something.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know any something like SNL, like Friday Night Lights. It's not like when you go to like Ferry or St. Clairsville, like it is a big deal. The sports around here, you go there, like nobody has that pride, like the community, like.
Yeah, it's just like just the football moms, It's you're like, where's the parade through town? It's Friday at 5:00. Like kickoff's in 2 hours. Where is everybody? Where's the band?
No, I mentioned in my my interview, my agent interview, like coming to Harvey Goodman, that there is truly no place like home, and I stand by that.
Yeah,
I can attest to that as well.
So these are also so many things that you work with on a daily basis, just working on that brand and all these little bits and pieces of authenticity that go into each and every brand. How have you been helping the agents to kind of differentiate themselves, make themselves stand out? I know you and I have worked a lot together on our media kind of department here at Harvey Goodman.
Natalie mentioned the agent interviews. I feel like that's a thing that not a lot of companies do. They'll showcase their listings and whatnot, but they don't really tell the story of who actually works for them. And if you're willing to get on camera and give your background a little bit like we are now, that can connect with some folks out there that might have similar interests and make them choose you rather than choosing somebody else, because, you know, maybe you both like dogs and you have some friendly pets and whatnot, and they are dog lovers as well, and that makes them connect with you in a way. Like Lori trains the dogs, and she probably gets a lot of clients from that. Or, you know, me with sports, I connect with a lot of people who love sports, and everybody's got their own lane and their own interests, and
how they connect with people.
Yeah, it's really about connecting with people authentically, and not. We get this bad reputation that we're like used car salesmen, I hear sometimes. I feel like that's so far from the truth, because a lot of people in this industry are so willing to go out of their way and help people, and they really truly care about like helping you through the process and being your friend pretty much. Like some of I've heard from agents, I haven't done a lot of selling yet, but the agents who are more experienced, some of their, you know, lifelong friends have came from selling them a home, and they developed a good relationship. And, you know, people actually care within this industry, and trying to show that on video is important to me when it comes to marketing, you know, our company and separating ourselves from the rest of the pack. I feel like we talk about the family here, but it truly is like family, friendship. People appreciate that when they deal with anybody that works here.
Yeah, our brand is so strong. That's why I tell a lot of our agents all the time, because some of the larger companies and stuff have they're not building the company name anymore, but we have this strong company name. And I always tell the agents, put our name behind you, you know, put our brand and our reputation behind you, and build your personality as your brand. Like, your face is your brand, your personality is your brand. So put that alongside us, and use the strength and the equity and the reputation of the company to push yourself and succeed further. But then also niche yourself out, you know, talk about your dog or your favorite coffee. Every mom in the Ohio Valley right now is talking about Giacinta's September latte menu, you know. So it's like whatever your interests, and they can be so small, but just, you know, put your personality out there to find your circle, to find your people, because you're going to enjoy the process of working with them more, and them you as well, because they know you, they like you, and they trust you prior to hiring you. And so yeah, I'm always talking to the agents.
Speaking on brand awareness, I think our rebrand has gone a super long way for the growth of this company. Like, as you can see on my shirt here, just this logo and everything, like, yeah, and the hat. As you can see, we have different variations of the logo. Like, everything flows well together. It's awesome as a creative to be able to use the new logos and everything together. There's so many different combinations of things when it comes to like designing the graphics or merch like this that we can throw on there. And we've gotten so many compliments from people in the community about how nice the logo looks and the rebrand was.
Yeah, that was such a process.
I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. Someone came into the South End and said, Harvey Goodman, you guys did a rebrand, right? Your new signs, they stick out so well. And I was like, I have got to tell my boss, she's going to freak out. I didn't even know them. They were like, well, I got to talking about real estate as I do. And he was like, I see your signs everywhere. That bright blue, it is awesome. Everywhere I look, those Harvey Goodman signs. I had to tell you that.
That was honestly probably one of the most stressful things I've done so far, because it's not something that you can kind of do like roundtable discussion. There's so many different perspectives, opinions, and when you take a brand like ours that has, 67 years of reputation and, visual awareness and people knowing it, I just totally expected that there was going to be some pushback and resistance, and like people didn't like it, because your initial knee-jerk reaction to change, a lot of people resist that a lot. People don't like change. And so there was so much pressure on me. And then like John and Scott, like nobody wanted to weigh too heavily, on opinions, and rightfully so, because then it could just muddy it all down and stuff. But that was such a process to work through. I had Daniel Finsley. He is the one who did our logo, and thank goodness for him. He was great to work with. He does such a broad, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he has so many different looks that he's done in the past on his website. He's done so many different aesthetics. So I thought he would, he has a broad portfolio. And so I knew he would do well with this, and we just wanted to modernize the brand, but we needed to keep that brand equity and awareness, because
the integrity,
everybody knew our brand. So we couldn't, pull a Cracker Barrel and just like change it up. Although they didn't really, they just simplified it, but they regretted that heavily. And I'm glad that everybody here locally took a better acceptance to our rebrand.
They do.
Cracker Barrel.
And something that people probably don't realize is that took a very long time to like truly finalize, and we're still rolling things out. Like,
it's the print materials, we're wrapping those up. Our signs are out, they're done, they're launched, but all sorts of little things. I just saw on one of our sponsorships last night, I saw they had the old logo, and I was like, oh gosh, I gotta get out to and get them the new logo. But
yeah, it was well over a year-long process though, and I mean, like I said, still kind of rolling some other things out. It's been a long process, but it's awesome to see that the community's responded in an awesome way to.
It's such an extensive process, time-consuming, costly, but it was needed. We've never done a full rebrand that I'm aware of. Our brand has basically just ever so slightly evolved since, I don't know, the 80s. I don't want to overspeak. I don't know the exact history of that, but you've probably seen some of the older logos, and it's like, so we had the lamppost with the shingle, and the lamppost used to have a full stem on it, and then the stem just kept getting shorter and the light post getting larger, and we even kept the lamppost as a nod to our brand equity and our history, our heritage. It was one of our core values. So that lamppost was transformed very nicely, and our colors, they stand out. I love them for the agents because the visibility of the rebrand is amazing for you guys.
The versatility of the new logo is what is key. Like with the old logo, we just had it was tough to design some of the graphics because you just have like one variation that you could play with, but now we have multiple variations, like I said, that you can kind of play around with and make things look good. And it's truly awesome to be able to have that as a creative.
Yeah. And I love having the white and black with it so that it can be kind of classy, and the agents can, again, bring their own personality. There's not too many colors. It's not too overbearing, where the agents can kind of bring their own personality. We have the yellow, we have the blue, if they prefer one of those colors over the others, or if they don't like either of them, then just go more white and black and classic. So yeah, that's been a fun process. I'm really glad to be wrapping up the tail end of that though. I'm not gonna lie.
But the results have been
the results are phenomenal. I'm glad we did it, because I actually was not I was focused on it at first, but then I kind of like took a step back from it. And then Scott Connors was one that really kind of encouraged me to press forward and consider that. And it was a really fun process as we got started. We met with the branding team at Northwest Title. We went up and toured their corporate office up in Columbus. And I don't know if you're a local homeowner and you might be familiar with Northwest Title, otherwise you might not be, but their brand is so strong through East Central Ohio. And when you walk into a Northwest Title office, you know where you're at. It's orange, it's Northwest Title, and you know you're there. And they have a brand guide, and they do so well with their branding and keeping things like to a T. So that was fun to get to know and learn, from them through that experience. And yeah, I think we very much have elevated the brand. I'm very proud of it. So it's been fun and exciting. So
this is really good. So
This has been a great episode. We talked about community. I'm super excited. The community series has launched. Shady Side, we've got Barnesville coming up for next month. And we'll be looking forward to booking with other local community business owners. We have opportunity to have some guests on the podcast. So super excited to bring that aspect to the screens here and to continue rolling all of this out. So
if you're a local business owner, please reach out to us and get in touch with us, because we'd love to have you on the podcast. Yes. Shout your business out.
Shoot us a text, email, message us on Facebook, message the company page, whatever you need to do. We'd love to chat with you, love to highlight your business, and talk about your community and what you love about it, where you're at. So, all right. Well, until next time, thank you for watching HG Living Podcast, the lifestyles of the locally rich and famous. Can't wait to talk to more of our locally rich community business owners and see you all out there in the future. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.